Hi, everybody. This is Jessie Cohen from Jessie Cohen Marketing, and I'm here with my pal, Robin White. Say hi, Robin.
Hi, guys. Nice to be here, Jessie.
Nice to have you again. And we're here to review my website. So, per usual, if you watch any other videos, you know we'll both be looking down because we have our notes upon occasion. And so we're going to dive right in. Today we're doing Family Stories by Melody Joy. And of course, I need to share screens. And I apologize if you can hear the landscaper behind me. Of course, we timed this wrong. So, whatevs. All right, so let me share screens real quick. Pull up Melody's website. All right, can you see that, Robin?
I sure can.
Great. So, let's dive right in here on the home page.
Okay.
I am just going to say that I love how visual this is. I mean, she is doing films and photos that preserve family memories. She should be visual, but I just love the colors that she picked, the warmth that she's showing here. There's just a lot of really great elements of this.
I agree. Her images are beautiful, which you would expect from someone offering her service. And she's chosen, like you said, really warm, welcoming, beautiful, soothing colors. Her fonts are really nice. They're easy to read. It just has a beautiful overall feel.
Yes. So I'm going to work from the top down, I think, through this page real quick. You know, starting here, she's got a favicon, which is great, which is that little icon in your tabs, in your browser. I love that she has the sticky nav, but it's a little bit transparent so you can see, so it's easy to navigate through.
I love that she has 2 calls to action in her sticky nav as well. That's fantastic.
Yep. And I like how each of these sections is its own unique section. So the colors change and she's consistent with how that's laid out. So it's like a photo and then white and then a photo and white.
Mm-hmm. And the photos give a nice visual break for the eye from the text. So
yes,
it's really laid out wonderfully.
Yep. While we're in the footer, I think something that you mentioned in our pre-prep is she's got a copy, right? Kind of. We're missing the date. And some of the legal pages too. Mm-hmm. But I love the social, the social that she's got in the bottom here. So that's
and if
awesome.
I'm remembering correctly, when I clicked on them, they each open up in a new tab, which is a very good thing to do when you're linking off your site.
Yep.
And I also like her scroll to top button.
This little guy.
Or arrow, yes, which is really nice just to get up to the top of the page really fast.
Whee! I think one of the things that's missing, and this is very minor, this doesn't have a hover, which I noticed earlier. Mm-hmm. So this says click here, and maybe she was trying to figure out how to code that, but you know, as a side note, you want to make sure that your buttons have some sort of hover interaction so you know they're clickable.
And I think most of her buttons do, like we just saw when you hovered over those, but I agree with you with the click here, a hover effect would be really helpful so people know it's actually a hyperlink.
Yeah, one thing that, I was highlighting stuff. One thing that I will mention, and I don't have a clear solution without reorganizing everything, is the multiple calls to action. She's promoting these DIY tutorials, especially since right now it's COVID. It's hard to book in-person sessions. So I'm guessing that's probably why she's got both calls to action here. But as things change in the world, you know, I would consider promoting the book now and DIY tutorials separately because you promote them up here pretty clearly. So I wouldn't necessarily duplicate them here, but I understand why she's doing it right now. That's my guess.
I agree. It's a lot of calls to action in a small amount of
Yeah,
space.
it's here too. So,
Yes,
but I'm guessing that's
exactly.
why she's doing that. All right, I'm going to click on stories. Ready?
Yes.
So moving through her navigation, why don't what are some of your thoughts in this section here?
Beautiful section. I mean, again, all the imagery is absolutely stunning. The one thing I would ask Melody to consider is possibly doing a little explanation at the top of the page before we get into the imagery of the videos about what this service actually is.
Yeah, that's a great idea. It's also a great place to throw in some text for SEO.
Yes.
It was interesting. As I originally looked at this too, I was like, there should be some sort of button to play under each of these, but I could go back and forth with that. She does have a play button right here that brings up the story and the, the article and everything. So maybe that's overkill,
Right.
Right. But it brings up.
I think the play button in the videos
is fine.
I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, the intro text is a good idea though.
Yeah.
Clicking through this though, let's spend a quick second here. I believe she's got these set up as pages, or I'm guessing blog posts, since it's got uncategorized in here. Oops, I clicked that. I didn't mean to do that. It's going to go to all the uncategorized ones.
Yeah, and we were talking about this beforehand, that it's when you are blogging, which is such a fantastic thing to do, because fresh content is what brings new visitors to your website, and Google just loves it. But a great idea is to come up with a category and a tag sort of strategy for your blog and how you want to organize things, and to actually assign a category or categories to each post. And that's a really good way for visitors to be able to search through all of your posts.
Yeah, and ignore the load time. It's me, it's not her website. Just for those of you watching, that took an awfully long time to load.
Well, actually, I did run.
Oh yeah.
I did run that, and the load time was quite high. So.
So maybe it's not me.
Generally, images are the biggest culprit of slow load times. So one thing to look at is optimizing them before you upload them to your website. And then there are lots of different plugins that offer further compression services once it's been uploaded. And those are really good to use, especially with a photo heavy website, which this is, and as it should be.
As we're talking about optimization of images, what we mean by that is the pixels, the resolution in the pixels per inch, in terms of like, this is a gorgeous photo and you want to make sure it looks great, but there's ways to cut out some of the file size to optimize it for the web. Like Robin said, just to kind of explain that to folks watching. So I'm going to keep clicking through. Let's go to Love Everlasting section here. Yeah, you can see this. I'm sure these are huge images. It took a second to load here.
And if I could just say, I love that section, the healing through stories. That's what I was talking about, possibly on the last page. This is, first of all, a beautiful story that she's sharing about herself, something personal. But it also lets you know what this service is. So having something similar to that on the previous page, I think could be a really nice addition.
Yes, I think she's done an amazing job with how these are laid out and really showing the breadth and depth of her work.
Which is stunning.
And she does again, highlighting the fancy fonts are for headers, simple fonts are for body text. And I really love how this page, she's teasing stuff she's working on. It says coming soon, but this is a full story here. That's such a creative way to be able to say, like, I've done things, but they're not quite ready yet. I know that's something that designers and creative folks struggle with in terms of portfolios and what to put in here. Like these don't even have, she's named them. She's obviously done some work to promote it. But throw it up there and like tease people. This is coming. You can come and check it out. Just gives a little flavor. So she's
done a wonderful job. Yeah.
Her use of white space, which again, I know is something that Rob and I always is great too. She gives your eyes a break. She's organized things cleanly. It's really nice.
It's laid out beautifully.
Yeah. So I'm going to dive into the DIY tutorials. So again, I think for me, this is awesome. What she's put here and what she's offering. We didn't go into the tutorials themselves because I think we wanted to stay with the main website here. What I'd love to see is kind of what you're going to get. So it's a little bit confusing to me in terms of like, what are you going to get? Are these the 2 DIY things you're getting? Or are there other things, are there checklists and other videos or, other instructions that I'm going to get? I need to see a little bit more of the deliverable.
I agree.
Sign
that's
up.
a really good idea.
Yeah, market it a little bit more. You want to give
as much information as possible and make it as easy as possible for the visitor to make a decision if they want to sign up or not.
Totally. Yeah. All right, I'm going to click the book now button. We talked about the blog. So let's spend a few minutes here. So why don't you dive in first, Robin?
Well, I think my first reaction was when I click a book now button, I sort of expect to either have a contact form or a calendar sort of top of page. So that's something I would love to see here. There's a lot of information on the book now page that maybe belongs more on a services page.
Yeah. There's a lot of great information in here. It's just really hard to kind of digest,
yeah.
I think is what you're saying. Let's kind of poke through some of this. I love her quotes right here too. I didn't notice those originally, but she's got testimonials. I mean, her work is great. That's the advantage of being a visual service provider. I like the call to action here. I like that there's packages, but I would have like a services page and then like a book page that's really like thinking about her sales process. Too many options.
I agree. I think this page would benefit from being split up into 2 different pages.
Yeah, this is kind of a unique way to organize stuff. Click to expand storytelling, product details. That might be something that she can explore in the future for the different types of products that she's offering.
Absolutely.
This right here is an image. It's not text, which isn't a good or a bad thing. It just is. But you lose any search that you would get from some of this sort of thing.
Right.
And then theme options is super creative and unique. I love this. But maybe I love that she's giving inspiration, but maybe this is one of those drop downs up here. And again, not to solve the problem, but this is where it's like, there's too many things that you want me to look at. Like, do you want me to, and I actually think this is a very, very creative way to market herself. I love that these are in here.
I'm wondering if that, again, not to give her more work, but if theme options should be even a separate page unto itself, or something that maybe from a services page, you can click onto it to find out about more theme options. So maybe it's not in the menu, but it's a page on the site. I'm not sure what would be the best way to organize that. I'd have to.
Well, since there's a limited number of sessions per theme available, I understand why she has it here from a booking perspective. But again, thinking through the hierarchy of this page, this expander idea, an accordion would help her keep things organized on this page. Maybe it's 4 or 5 quadrants. It says, here are your options,
right.
And book now, which one are you interested in? And leverage the form that's down here to identify which thing that you'd like to integrate with. So, she does have a privacy policy. It's right here.
Okay.
Put that sucker in your footer, sister.
Goes in the footer. Absolutely.
All right. But overall, I think she's done an amazing job building her brand, creating this warm, comforting, family-friendly tone to it. Definitely. Any last thoughts that you have here?
One thing I'm just seeing right now is in the hero image on this page, you might want to add a little bit of padding in between the text just to make the photo a little taller, so there's some space before that text actually starts.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And
But
then,
otherwise, really beautiful website, very well done. The branding is spot on. I mean, the colors and the fonts are great. The imagery is great. You get a really nice feel when you visit it.
I agree. I think my final thought is like there isn't a clear contact us page. You have the book now page, but if people want to call you or email you or find out where you're located, a simple contact us page, it doesn't have to be in your primary nav. It can be down in your footer.
Yeah.
You know, but having some of those ancillary pages linked from the footer might be a nice touch.
I
So
think that's a great idea.
yeah. Well, that's what we got for you, Melody. Great job in your family stories. And till we see you next time. Thanks, Robin.
Thank you, Jessie.